Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a real classic from 1927, one that tackles, well, maybe the biggest question there is life planned out or is it all just random?
We're talking Thornton Wilder's The Bridge of San Luis Rey. It won the Pulitzer, huge bestseller back in the day.
Right. And it grabs you immediately. Peru, 1714, there's this old Inca rope bridge, crucial route between Lima and Cusco.
And snap, it collapses.
Yeah.
5 people, seemingly unconnected, plunge to their deaths.
But that accident, dramatic as it is, it's really just the starting point. The real story follows this Franciscan friar, Brother Juniper.
He sees it happen.
Yeah.
And he just can't accept it as, a random event. He gets this idea, this mission.
A 6-year mission, no less, to prove God's divine providence. Basically, that God had a specific, justifiable reason for each of those 5 deaths.
And what's really wild is how he tries to prove it. This is the early 18th century. The age of reason is dawning. So Juniper thinks he can use data, like empirical methods, interviews, records. He even tries to devise mathematical formulas to measure spiritual qualities.
Wait, math? To prove God's plan? That sounds ambitious, maybe a little crazy.
It's incredibly ambitious, almost hubristic, you could say. He spends 6 years compiling this enormous book, trying to find the pattern, the divine logic.
And after all that work, 6 years.
Nothing. Well, nothing concrete. His huge volume ends up filled with just conventionally pious generalizations. No mathematical proof, no cosmic blueprint revealed.
Because the lives themselves resisted that kind of explanation?
Exactly. You look at the victims. They're all over the place. There's Doña Maria, the Marquesa de Montmayor, who's lived this bitter life but finally writes this truly courageous, loving letter to her estranged daughter.
Just before she steps onto the bridge. Wow. And her companion, Pepita, is with her.
Right. Then there's Esteban. He's a twin. His brother just died. He's actually suicidal, but gets drawn back towards the bridge path almost by accident.
And Uncle Pio, the sort of mentor figure with his young charge, Don Jaime.
Yeah, they're traveling because Pio's connection to this famous actress, Camila Paracol, has just been severed. So you have love, grief, despair, new beginnings, all converging.
It's messy, like real life, not a neat formula.
Which is precisely Wilder's point, I think. He apparently wrote the novel partly out of arguments with his very strict Calvinist father.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, his father's view of God was very much about judgment, about tallying sins. Wilder seems to be asking, isn't there something bigger? Is there a divine caritas, a selfless love that maybe operates beyond simple cause and effect or retribution?
And does he answer that?
He deliberately leaves it open. That's the power of it. He explores the question, but doesn't give a definitive yes or no.
So what happens to Brother Juniper and his big book of failed proof?
Well, here's the really dark irony. He finishes the book, presents his findings, his attempt to, scientifically validate God's ways.
Yeah.
The church declares it heresy.
Heresy, for trying to prove God's plan.
Apparently, trying to probe the mind of God too closely, trying to subject it to human logic and formulas, was seen as deeply presumptuous. So both Brother Juniper and his book are publicly burned.
Wow. So the search for certainty literally goes up in flames.
Pretty much. But the novel doesn't end there. The focus shifts. We see the people left behind, like the actress Camila Paracol and Doña Maria's daughter Clara. They seek comfort.
Where do they find it?
They go to the abbess of the local convent. And she offers not answers about why the bridge collapsed, but insight into what remains.
And this leads to that famous line, right?
Exactly. The abbess says, "There is a land of the living and a land of the dead, and the bridge is love, the only survival, the only meaning."
So after all the theological searching, the mathematical attempts, the conclusion is human connection, love.
That seems to be Wilder's ultimate point. That message has resonated incredibly strongly. John Hersey explicitly cited it as an inspiration for Hiroshima, his book about the atomic bomb victims, focusing on intertwining ordinary lives in a catastrophe.
And it was quoted after 9/11?
Yes, Tony Blair used that quote about love being the bridge during the memorial service in New York. It speaks to that need for meaning, for connection, especially when faced with sudden, inexplicable loss.
Okay, so let's recap. We have this intense, almost scientific attempt by Brother Juniper to find a divine reason behind a tragedy.
Which ultimately fails and is condemned.
Right. And then the novel pivots, suggesting that maybe the why isn't the point. Maybe the meaning isn't in the plan, but in the love that connects us, the love that survives even death.
The bridge isn't providence, perhaps, but love itself.
So that leaves us, and you listening, with a pretty deep thought. If the bridge of San Luis Rey suggests our meaning lies in the connections, the love we build and leave behind, What single act of courage, or maybe love, would define your crossing? What would be the testament you leave?